Hello everybody, welcome to Deluxe Collectibles, and today I'm going to be ranking all of the LEGO Series 1 minifigures. So if you don't know how my ranking videos work, for each of the figures I'm going to give them a score out of 5. Then at the end of the video I will let you know the total score for the wave. And I do want lists for my Funko ranking videos, but for this video I'm going to let you know that I would love to get all of these minifigures. It would be unlikely since it is a very old series. I mean, it's the first one to release, so it would be unlikely to be able to find these, but if I could get any of them I would definitely want to collect the whole series because I try to be a completionist with most of them. And this will become a series of some sort on my channel where I go through each of the CMF series and rank all of them. So I wanted to start with series 1 here. I know I've done a video for series 19 and series 20, but now I'm going back starting from the beginning, so I hope you all go on to enjoy the video, and let's get straight into it here with number 16. Alright, so here at number 16 we have the Magician, and this minifigure is alright. It's just nothing out of the ordinary to me, and I'm judging these now that we've had 20 minifigure series, so some of these figures when they originally released might have been something groundbreaking, but now with all of the minifigures that we've had revealed and given to us in all of the series, it kind of feels a little bit repetitive or just not superior to some of the newer versions of the characters. And this Magician, personally, I'm just not a huge fan of the design, like the occupation. I don't know, it's just really nothing amazing here. I mean, he doesn't even have an accessory, it seems, so I'm not sure. It's just not something that's up my alley. So for this one, I'm going to give it a 2.5 out of 5. And now let's move on to number 15. Alright, so just from that previous one, I have a feeling I'm going to have a hard time justifying my choices here. And let me tell you guys that this is all my personal opinion here. It's nothing objective, of course. It's just my opinion. And for this one here, we have the Demolition Dummy. And this one, I know there's quite a few people who really like this minifigure, but for me, I kind of look in minifigure series. Now, there are like exceptions to this, but most of the time I look for pieces that I could really use in other scenarios and just new prints and stuff like that. And yes, this is a pretty unique print here, but I just don't feel like it has that many purposes. It's a cool one-off minifigure, and I do think that is good for LEGO minifigure series, of course, but I just don't think it really appeals to me personally. It's just not something that I really felt like we needed. So for this one, I'm going to be giving it a 2.5 out of 5. And now let's move on to number 14. Okay, so here we have the Ninja, and this one is just very repetitive. The only reason why it's above the other two are because I'm a very big fan of the sort of ninja design for LEGO, and I almost feel a little bit nostalgic with this design just because it's using that original ninja hood. I like the simple printing there. I think it just looks really cool and sleek, and this one's definitely just a personal pick here. I'm sure for a lot of people this one may be lower on their list because it's just something that you could get in like a Lego Ninjago set from that time period where you could get like coal. I'm pretty sure this series released just a year before Ninjago began, so this minifigure would be something that was kind of just recreated in that sort of outfit, of course with slightly different prints. But I think overall it's still an okay minifigure, but this one is going to earn a 2.5 out of 5. And now let's move on to number 13. Alright, so here we have the Forest Man, basically a Robin Hood-like character here, and I think this one has a pretty cool sort of outfit and uniform going on here. I like the sort of archery printing on there, and I like the archers, not even the bow, but the arrows in the back there, which it would have made sense to give him a bow, but I guess they didn't really have the resources to give him that extra item there. I'm not super familiar if I get some things wrong with like some of the accessories or like some of the reasoning behind why they don't have them. Sorry about that. I'm just not super, like, I wasn't collecting seen Lego at the point when this series released, so I wasn't super familiar with what Lego sets were coming out at that time. But for this one, I think it's a cool outfit. I like the colors as well. I think it's a nice green that they chose, and the face print looks pretty unique as well. So for this one, it's going to earn a 3 out of 5. And now let's move on to number 12. Alright, so here we have the Cowboy minifigure here, and this one is a really great looking minifigure. I think that it has some really nice prints on the torso. I like all of the bullets kind of going around, and now that I'm thinking about it, maybe these minifigures just didn't come with accessories at this point in the CMF series. I'm kind of spoiled with how many accessories newer minifigures come with, so I might just be thinking incorrectly in that way. So let me know in the comment section down below, and as we go through this list, we'll kind of see if there's a pattern here. But for this minifigure specifically, I like the face print on this one quite a bit. I love how expressive it is. I really enjoy that. It kind of has an Indiana Jones sort of vibe to it, even though it's like a cowboy here, not really an archaeologist, but I think that it's definitely kind of a similar idea here. So a great design on this one. It's going to earn a 3 out of 5, and now let's move on to number 11. Alrighty, so here we have the Caveman minifigure, and I think that this minifigure is cool to get because we don't get a ton of Caveman characters, but I just think that it's not the coolest minifigure and not the most flashy one, I suppose. And I get that it's not meant to be, of course, it's a more prehistoric based minifigure, of course, but I think that overall it's still a great minifigure. I think that the prints are well done on this one. I like the little bone that he has there. I like the head as well with that hair molding. I think that that looks really well done. Considering it's the first series, it's a pretty good mold to have there, and some nice leg printing as well. So overall, a good minifigure. This one is going to earn a 3 out of 5. And now let's move on to number 10. Okay, so here we have the Nurse minifigure, and I really like the torso print on this one. I like the colors that they chose, with of course that sterile sort of white coloring, but then I like the pop of blue as well. I think it's a pretty good amount of detail there. I like the face print, the hair is nice, and it's cool to get another female character in this series here because it is a little bit more limited in this one specifically, but I think that it's a good addition to have. So for this one, I'm going to give it a 3.5 out of 5. And now let's move on to number 9. Alright, at number 9 here we have the Deepsea Diver, and I love the color scheme of this one. I really like the orange, blue, and black. I think it looks really nice together, and it's cool how they gave him gray like hands as well for gloves. I think that's pretty unique. I like the flippers as well in that orange color. The legs look really nice with the sort of color scheme of the blue and orange, of course, and then I really like the helmet there. I like the goggles as well, and the little like breathing apparatus around his neck there. I think that this is just a really nicely detailed minifigure here, which I know in this series some of them aren't nearly as detailed as we're used to nowadays, so I think it's nice to see one with so much detail put into it. So for this one, it's going to earn a 4 out of 5, and now let's move on to number 8. Okay, so here we have a Spaceman, and this one has some really nice printing on the legs and torso. I really love that sort of just like advanced technology sort of look here. I love the printing of the little planet there. The logo looks very nice. I like the helmet as well. That's a really unique mold there. And I like the face print as well. He looks a little bit cocky or a little bit snarky there. So I do like that sort of expressive nature that they add to the minifigure. And then it has some nice feet printing as well there at the front. Just a nice amount of detail on this one. So it is going to earn a 4 out of 5. And now let's move on to number 7. Alright, so here we have the Skater minifigure, and I love the torso on this one. It's one of my favorites from the series. I think it just looks so great. I love the skull print there with the bones coming out, the nice sort of hoodie design there. And then I like the face print as well. The hair is really nice. It's kind of like Cole's sort of hairstyle from Ninjago, so I really like that. Some nice little, what I think would be jeans, I suppose, but just without any printing, which is unfortunate, but I still think it kind of gets the point across. So I think this is a good minifigure overall, and it is going to earn a 4.5 out of 5. And now let's move on to number 6. Alright, so here we have the Super Wrestler, and this one is a fantastic minifigure. I really like the design of it. I love the sky blue head there with the sky blue legs. I think that looks really nice. The mask has a lot of detail on it. I love the angry expression there. It's nice that he got a cape as well. That's a really cool addition. He has some really awesome pecs going on there on his torso. I like the tank top as well. A really nice belt there for kind of like, I assume, the tournament belt of some sort for wrestling, and I really love that design. And then on the legs, they even have some wings going on there, which is really great. So overall, this one just has a really great amount of detail on it. White gloves as well, which adds to it also. So just a very well done minifigure. This one is going to earn a 4.5 out of 5. And now let's move on to number 5. Alright, so here we have the Tribal Hunter, and for this one it has some really nice printing around the torso. I love that necklace print there, and then on the legs as well, it has a very nice sort of print, kind of almost replicating a sort of fabric-y look on this one. And then you get the archer sort of like arrows in the back there, once again, similar to the Forest Man. And then the head mold there just looks fantastic. I love both of the feathers coming out of the top there. The hair mold is very well done. A super nice face print as well, a really unique one with the sort of paint on the sides of his face. I think this one just has a really nice amount of detail and is a very cool, unique idea for a minifigure. So this one is going to earn a 4.5 out of 5. And now let's move on to number 4. Alright, so here we have the Cheerleader minifigure, and I think this one has some really nice printing on the legs and torso. I keep saying that, I feel like, but I feel like it's the main thing to sort of comment on with these minifigures. This one has a nice hairpiece as well, and I like the idea of having a Cheerleader minifigure. I feel like I haven't seen this too often. I might be mistaken there, and as I go through this sort of CMF ranking series, I'll kind of realize how many repeats there are of the same sort of character archetype. But for now, I think this one's very well done. I like the color scheme of it. The printing looks really nice. I feel like it would fit really well in maybe a sort of high school mock or something, or maybe even the Haunted High School from Hidden Side. So just a really cool minifigure. This one is going to earn another 4.5 out of 5. And now let's move on to number 3. Alright, at number 3 here we have the Circus Clown, and this one has a really nice torso design. I love the vibrant colors on it, and then even on the legs, I love the little patches there with the colors that kind of course, the blue on the red and then the red on the blue, which I really like. And then the arms look very nice. I really like the green that they chose for the core color, the primary color of the torso. The face print looks very well done. I love that big red clown nose and then some of the clown makeup, and as well the afro looks really great also. It kind of just tops off the whole look. I really love the design of this minifigure, so it is going to earn a 5 out of 5. And now let's move on to number 2. Alright, so here we have the zombie minifigure, and this one is really cool. It was awesome to get a zombie minifigure in a CMF series, and I think this is a great one to put in the first series. It's a really unique character that you really wouldn't get outside of this setting, and I think they really nailed the design here. I love the kind of ripped up outfit there, the businessman outfit. The head looks really fantastic. I love the kind of shading around the red eyes there, which looks really nice. nice. The broken mouth there with all of the teeth kind of decaying away, some of the scrapes. It's just a very well done minifigure. It really looks fantastic, and this one is going to earn a 5 out of 5. And now let's move on to number 1. Alright, at number 1 here we have the robot, and this one has a fantastic head mold here. I really love the design of that. I think it has some really unique molding and sculpting to it, and I really love the coloring of it. It almost looks like a little bit metallic there. And then I love the more robotic arm on his right side. I think that looks really great. The detail of the red and green on his chest there looks really great, kind of showing maybe the power of the robot at the moment. And then the little screws on the legs and then around the sort of torso looks really great. I love all of that. It just has a really great amount of detail, some nice red eyes also, and it's just a very cool looking robot. I think it's a really unique sort of character archetype to use here, and I really think it paid off. I think it's a fantastic design, and this one is going to earn a 5 out of 5. And now let's move on to my final verdict for the wave. Okay, so in conclusion for this series, out of a score of 80, it managed to score 61, and that converts over to 76%. I think that's a really fantastic score considering this is only the first LEGO minifigure series, and keep in mind that this is only my personal opinion. You might have a completely different ranking, and if you do, be sure to share that down below. I'm sure everybody's going to have different opinions, and I really want to hear them all. And thank you so much for watching the video. I do really appreciate it. I'm going to try to continue this series and rank every single LEGO minifigures series, so hopefully that should be a lot of fun. Just thank you so much for watching. I really do appreciate it, and if you did enjoy, be sure to leave a like and also subscribe for future content and to see some of my previous content as well, because I've already ranked series 19 and 20, so I'll try to leave those on the end screen at the end of this video. But I'll see you guys all next time, and always remember, keep on collecting.